everyone, it's Fiona Edgar here. So what I would like to talk about during this video is the astrology of food shortages. So unfortunately, that is something that we're kind of. It looks likely that we are going to be facing that pretty soon, to be honest. So I've been hearing this talk about food shortages for like quite a while. So it's hard to know what to believe really when you look at anything on the internet these days. So I thought I'd look at the astrology because the astrology is never wrong about anything really. So let us take a look then. So we do know that we could be the food shortages are probably being caused because apparently farmers get in Europe get their a lot of their fertilizer from Russia. So for obvious reasons, they're not able to get that, and then of course the increase in price that they will have to be paying will be passed on to the consumers. There's also a wheat shortage. Not that I don't eat wheat anyway, but animals do, livestock. So there's a wheat shortage because Ukraine apparently is a big supplier. We also had all of the stupid lockdowns which have affected businesses and all of that. So let's take a look at the astrology. So what can you look at for that represents food in astrology? So first of all, it's the sign of Taurus. Taurus is about connected to food. It's about Taurians like to eat. It's about that connection to the earth, eating stuff that has been grown in the earth. So the other thing that we look at would be Ceres. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. I think it's Ceres. So she is like a goddess of agriculture, food, nourishment, and everything that's connected to food. So I thought that I would take a look at those things because automatically, when I started to think about the possibility of food shortages, I thought about the fact that the North Node is in Taurus. So the North Node is going to be in Taurus until next year. So the nodes are they're malefic, which means they're difficult. So North Node in Taurus is where we want to get to, but it's very difficult to get to there. So what we want to get to is like financial stability, food, security, everything like that. But that's not where we're at right now. We're in Scorpio. So the North Node, the other thing is that Uranus is in Taurus, right? So Uranus is in Taurus until 2026. And it is shaking up our reality, comfort zones. It's messing up the financial institutions, the banking system, all of that. It's also messing up the food supply chain. So what we also have now, within me, there's a bell rang or like a little alarm bell. We do have a partial eclipse in Taurus. So that is happening on April 30th. Now it's conjunct Uranus, right? To me, this speaks of stuff happening all of a sudden, inflation going through the roof, and issues with the food supply. So, I mean, I've been noticing that empty shelves on and off in a lot of places, which is really worrying. It's something that I've never experienced before in my life. So, obviously, what you should do then is to try and stock up on some things. I don't know enough about the economy to be able to advise you on if there's anything other than food that you need to get. So I don't know, go and watch someone else for that. I can only talk about the astrology. So April 30th, we have the partial solar eclipse. Now it's a partial eclipse, but it is an eclipse energy nonetheless. This will bring changes over the next 6 months, connected to food, connected to the economy, connected to the supply chain, right? So watch out for that. I'm not saying it's going to happen next week. I don't know. But it's coming. May 5th, the Sun is conjunct Uranus and Taurus. This is a smaller like aspect, but it's all building. Everything in astrology is connected, even if they're not making an aspect. They're still connected. They're still part of the same story, part of the same life cycle. Okay, so we don't ignore things in astrology just because they're not making an aspect. They're all working together right now. Right, so then we've got a Mercury retrograde that ends in Taurus. That is from May 10th until June 3rd. So it starts in Gemini. It'll be about information, communication, and all of that, but it ends in Taurus. Okay. Then 13th, 15th of May, the Sun is conjunct the North Node in Taurus. The Sun is also square Saturn. So this is a very difficult period that we're entering here. Okay. Then we have on May 16th, we have a total lunar eclipse in Scorpio. So when you have a lunar eclipse, it's like a full moon but on steroids. It's a huge deal, right? So it's about changes that unfold over several months. A full moon is when the sun and the moon are in opposite signs. So the sun is in Taurus and the moon is in Scorpio. Something is really ending here in terms of what we have been used to. Taurus is your comfort zone. It's like, food in your fridge and like gas in your car, money in your bank and all of that. Something is really changing here. It is going to be unfolding over the next several years. And I know that. And I know that you know that. But what I'm saying is you really need to be prepared. So that's why I'm making this video. Now, the other thing that in astrology that we look at is Ceres, as I already mentioned. Now, she is in Gemini right now. She is going to be squaring Jupiter, and then she squares Neptune on May 1st, right? So we have all of this stuff happening in May. Looks a bit dramatic to me, right? So then next year, things are just kind of all over the place because we have Jupiter enters Aries in May, right? So Jupiter in Aries is about, it should be a better energy than Jupiter in Pisces. That wouldn't be hard. But it can involve war and conflict because Aries, of course, is ruled by Mars, the Lord of War. So what happens is that then when Jupiter goes into Aries, that's happening in May, Ceres is in Cancer and they start to make a square. So Ceres is squaring Jupiter, this Jupiter transit that is connected to Mars, the Lord of War. Are we going to be seeing conflict over the food supply? Is there going to be conflict in the streets? Hopefully not over toilet roll the way they did, when all that COVID stuff happened. But I am just telling you this to be prepared because you really need to be, because this is happening. And if you go and watch the video that I made below where I was on Freeman Fly's podcast, Freeman TV, I did talk about the big major events that are happening astrologically over like the next several years. So go and check that, go and watch that. But yeah, this is happening. Now, here's where it becomes a huge deal. The North Node is going to be conjunct Uranus on July 31st. North Node only conjuncts Uranus every 75 years. Okay? This is time it is in Taurus. So Uranus in Taurus. Taurus is your bread and butter, your money in your bank, your security, feeling happy, feeling secure. Uranus is changing all of that for all of us. When the North Node conjuncts Uranus in Taurus, it is going to be a huge deal. So that's July 31st. So really what we are looking at over the next couple of months is a lot of drama, a lot of hassle, especially in terms of our ability to feel nourished, well fed. There are going to be issues with the food supply. So go and get prepared, whatever way that you can. The astrology is pointing towards it. Now, this is obviously, of course, this has all been planned, but uh, Uranus and Taurus, we're not free of that until 2026. So we have a ways to go here. But definitely this May, there's going to be issues into June, into July, of course, probably way beyond that. So I'm only making this video so that you can get yourselves ready and do whatever you have to do. Okay, well, thanks for listening, guys. I will be back again soon. Bye.